Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. So Lions fans, you've probably heard the buzz circulating around the NFL lately, especially after the recent Hall of Fame game, which, even though it's just the preseason, gave us some pretty interesting insights into what might be coming for Detroit this season. And trust me, what's happening right now could have major implications for the Lions' future, especially in terms of their quarterback situation and how they're planning to build that championship contending team. Let's start by talking about that game. The Lions faced off against the Los Angeles Chargers, and even though it's only preseason, the result was a bit of a wake-up call. Detroit ended up losing that game 34-7, and while we all know preseason results aren't the final word, the performance of the backup quarterbacks was concerning. Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker had a tough time against the Chargers' backups, and that's definitely something the Lions need to address sooner rather than later. Neither Allen nor Hooker managed to throw a touchdown, and on top of that, Kyle Allen threw 2 interceptions, while Hendon Hooker threw 1. That's not exactly what you want to see from your backup quarterbacks as you head into the regular season, especially when Jared Goff has been such a steady force under center for Detroit. Now, it's important to remember that this is just preseason, and teams often experiment and try out different players and strategies. But for the Lions, the concern is real. Because if Jared Goff were to get injured or need some time off, the team's depth at quarterback has to be solid enough to keep the season afloat. And right now, that's where the focus is turning. It's no secret that Detroit needs a reliable backup, someone who can step in and keep the offense functioning at a high level. And that's exactly why the buzz about Carson Wentz has been picking up lately. Yes, Carson Wentz, the guy who's been around the league for a while now, and who, at one point, was considered an NFL MVP candidate. Many fans and analysts are now speculating whether the Lions might be making a move to sign him, and it's not hard to see why. Wentz has been a starter for quite some time, having played 9 seasons in the league. Over that period, he started in 94 games, completing 62. 7% of his passes for over 22, 0 yards and 153 touchdowns. Those are solid numbers, especially considering he's had his share of ups and downs. Wentz's journey through the NFL has been quite the roller coaster. He initially burst onto the scene with the Philadelphia Eagles, and many thought he was destined for greatness. Remember, he was an MVP candidate after that incredible 2017 season where he led the Eagles to the playoffs and looked like a franchise quarterback of the future. But injuries and team struggles derailed some of that early momentum. Still, Wentz has proven he can lead an offense when given the chance. In recent years, Wentz has been on a bit of a journey, bouncing from team to team. After his time with the Eagles, he played for the Indianapolis Colts, trying to reignite his career. Then, he moved on to the Washington Commanders, and most recently, he's been with the Los Angeles Rams and Kansas City Chiefs over the past 2 seasons. Those stops weren't exactly ideal for him, but they did give him some valuable experience working behind top-tier quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and learning under brilliant offensive minds like Andy Reid, as well as Sean McVay. That kind of experience, sitting behind some of the best, can really help Wentz refine his game and regain some of that confidence that might have been lost in recent seasons. And here's the thing, Wentz, despite the ups and downs, still has the talent and the starting ability to be a difference maker. When healthy and in the right system, he can perform at a level that keeps teams competitive. For the Lions, who are clearly aiming for a deep playoff run, having that reliable veteran presence behind Jared Goff could be exactly what they need. It's not just about depth, it's about having someone who can step in and lead if necessary, especially in a league where injuries are part of the game. Now, the Lions' current quarterback situation is a bit of a mixed bag. Hendon Hooker, who's been touted as a potential future star, is still young and unproven at the NFL level. Kyle Allen, while experienced, hasn't shown enough consistency to be considered a true backup that can be trusted in high-pressure moments. So, the signing of someone like Carson Wentz could be a game changer. It would provide stability, experience, and a guy who's been through the grind of a full NFL season, who understands what it takes to win in this league. And let's not forget, Wentz has already shown that he can be a franchise quarterback. Sure, he's faced criticism and some setbacks, but he's also demonstrated resilience. When he was with the Eagles, he was on the verge of becoming one of the league's top quarterbacks before that disastrous injury in 2017. In subsequent stops, he's still shown flashes of that talent, and with the right coaching and support, he could very well return to being a productive starter in this league. The Lions, with their talented roster and solid coaching staff, might see Wentz as a perfect fit to bolster their QB room. Looking ahead, the Lions are in an interesting position. They've built a competitive roster, with Goff leading the way on offense, and a defense that's improving each year. But the quarterback depth was always a question mark, and after that preseason game, that question mark has become a little more urgent. Signing a veteran like Carson Wentz could be the move that takes them from a playoff team to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. It's about stability, leadership, and ensuring that if Goff ever needs a breather or gets injured, the team won't lose its offensive rhythm. Now, let's talk a bit about the larger picture. Detroit has been steadily climbing the ranks in the NFC North. They've had some tough seasons in the past, but with the arrival of Jared Goff, they've found a quarterback who can elevate their offense. Goff's been solid, and he's proven that he can perform in big moments. But the league is always evolving, and having a reliable backup is a key part of that evolution. If Wentz joins the Lions, it's not just about filling a roster spot. It's about adding a piece that could be crucial in close games, especially late in the season when every win counts. And fans, you know how important the backup quarterback position is in today's NFL. We've seen teams falter because they lacked quality depth at that spot. The Lions are no different. They want to be a serious contender, and that means having options. Wentz's experience, combined with the Lions' young talent and strong coaching, could create a perfect storm for success. Imagine a scenario where Goff gets a minor injury and Wentz steps in, running the offense smoothly, maybe even inspiring the younger guys like Hendon Hooker to learn and grow from a veteran like him. Plus, it's worth mentioning that Wentz's familiarity with different offensive systems could be a huge advantage. Having played under Sean McVay, learning from Andy Reid, and experiencing different team cultures, he's seen a lot in the league. That kind of knowledge is invaluable, especially when trying to adapt quickly during a season. The Lions are building a team that's not just talented but also versatile, and adding Wentz could be that missing piece that helps them push even further this year. Of course, nothing is set in stone yet, and there's always the question of whether Wentz is still interested or whether the Lions are truly considering making that move. But the signs are pointing in that direction. The team's management is aware of the need for veteran leadership and reliable depth, especially after witnessing their struggles in that preseason game. Wentz, with his experience and talent, could very well be the answer. It's a move that could define their season, giving them that extra confidence and security in their quarterback room. And for you, Lions fans, this is just the beginning of what promises to be an exciting season. The NFC North is shaping up to be more competitive than ever, and Detroit is positioning itself as a serious contender. The potential signing of Carson Wentz adds a new layer of intrigue. Will it happen? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the Lions are not standing still. They're making moves, assessing their options, and getting ready to battle for that NFC title and ultimately a shot at the Super Bowl. So as we watch these developments unfold, it's clear that Detroit's future is bright, and they're not afraid to make bold moves to stay at the top. Whether Wentz becomes a Lion or not, the message is clear. This team is hungry, driven, and ready to make a statement this season. Keep your eyes peeled, Lions fans, because the best is yet to come. The NFC North is about to get even more interesting, and Detroit is right in the middle of the action. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential signing of Carson Wentz? Do you believe he's the missing piece for this team, or do you think the Lions should look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. Remember, this is a community, and we're all here to share the passion for this incredible team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. We're in for an exciting ride, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this team. So keep the faith, Lions fans, because this season could be one of the most thrilling yet.